So we're going to start sitting. It doesn't matter how you sit. I'm going cross-legged. The only thing that really matters is that your hips are higher than your knees, because then you get that roll of the pelvis. You come onto the front of the sit bones and you get a nice straight spine. So just thinking about extending up through the crown of your head. Take the attention to the very top of your head and maybe visualize the giant with the plunger sticking it on top of your head and then sucking you all the way up. Follow that. So come from the very top of your head and then follow the back of your head down the skull until you get to the space at the base of the skull. Visualize the space at the base of your skull and see if you can lengthen from there as well. So I find that's a little tip of the chin, but just a very subtle one. And a little bit, you create a little bit more space at the base of the skull. And down the neck. So thinking about the vertebra in the neck and giving them a little bit more space. Beautiful. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears and give them some weight. So nice heavy shoulders. And then releasing the belly and just allowing the breath to move through the body. Noticing the expansion as you inhale, a sinking, softening as you exhale. Checking in with the sit bones. So I notice quite often I have a bit of a lean. So quite often when I come to sitting, I have more weight going into one sit bone than the other. Even yourself up. Have a look at what's going on and get the pressure even. Okay. Lengthening again from the crown. Nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, turning the head to look over the right shoulder. Coming back to center, and then turning the head to look over the left shoulder. You're keeping your eyes level and moving the head one way and then the next. Trying to make that movement as smooth as you can. Keep allowing the breath to move through the body. Coming back to center and dropping the chin down to the chest. Think about that space at the base of the skull, lengthening from there, lengthening from the crown. Shoulders are heavy. And then we're going to look up. So follow the chin up. What you don't want to do is compress the back of the neck. So trying to keep the back of the neck long as you follow the chin up to the sky. And you can actually activate that. It's very good for a double chin. You can activate the chin. So as you're looking up, you can then send the chin a little bit more up and feel the muscles in the neck engage as you do that. Down again. Now you can make this even more by sticking your tongue out. So if you bring the chin up again, all the way up, and then you can stick the tongue out, tip of the tongue to the ceiling. Taking a few breaths like that, and you can feel everything activate in the neck. Thinking about the very tip of your tongue extending up. Releasing that all the way back down again. So we're going to zigzag the chin up now. So if you take the chin over to the right, come up a little bit and take it over to the left. So playing with that, but you're zigzagging the chin or the whole head. You zigzag everything up to the top, and then you can zigzag back down again. Okay, that got a bit clicky. And then just moving the head in whatever way feels nice. That might mean circles, it might mean a bit of almost like rippling through the neck. Anywhere that you find any kind of clicky tight bits, maybe think about the space at the base of the skull again and see if you can extend through those bits, loosening everything off. And then coming back to center, and we're just going to have a little sway. So taking the weight into one sit bone and then the other. Breathing into the lower back, the hips as you are swaying through the spine. Beautiful. And then coming back to center for a bit of cat cowing. Tuck the tailbone under, curl all the way down, drop the head, breathe into that. So you're breathing into that extension of the spine. You're right back on the back of your sit bones. As you inhale, rolling forward, coming onto the front of the sit bones and then opening the belly, the chest, drawing the shoulders back. Head comes up a little bit, but not so much that you're compressing the vertebrae. Breathe into the front of the body. Feel the receptiveness of your inhale. Exhale, curling back down again. A few of those then with the rhythm of your breath. You're not trying to control the breath, you're just allowing it to move freely and noticing. As you open the front of the body, you're inhaling. And as you lengthen through the spine, through the back of the body, you're exhaling. And then finding your way back to center. Popping the right hand down and inhaling the left arm up and over. And then think about that. Think about the sit bones again. So I've got lots of weight in my right sit bone. So see if you can sink the weight down a little bit so that it's even through the sit bones. Coming back up, shamuing over the other side. And doing the same thing. And giving that a little bit more weight through the sit bones seems to stretch the hip out quite nicely. Let's do that with a bit of like momentum. So you're inhaling, coming up, exhaling, stretching out. Inhaling, coming up, exhale. And back to center. Pop your hands on your knees. And we're just going to turn to the right, keeping your hands on your knees. So it's a little turn more in the upper body. We're not turning too much lower down the spine. I'm feeling that quite high up. Back to center and go the other way. And again, a few of those with your breath. Inhaling, center. Exhaling, little twist. Okay. And then next time you go over to the right, you can just take your left hand over to the knee and really draw that shoulder back. So drawing the right shoulder back and breathing into the whole of the right side. So this is much more of a corkscrewy, spirally type twist. You're going all the way through the spine. Coming back to center and going over the other way. And let's do that again. So over to the right, drawing the right shoulder back, opening yourself up in the chest, keeping the length through the crown, the space at the base of the skull, back to center, and over the other side. Coming back to center. Inhaling, taking the arms up. Interlacing the fingers and then turn the palms so they face the ceiling. Stretching up through the sides of the body. Beautiful. And then you can just let them drift all the way down. And we're going to come onto all fours. So, you may want a blanket for your knees. I don't know. I'm going to have one because my knees have been a bit. Right. So, coming up onto all fours. Nice bloody hands. Activate the hands. So pushing down through them and then drawing the fingers, keeping the fingers nicely, firmly placed on the mat, drawing them in towards the palm. So you get a little suction cup. It's a very, very, very tiny lift in the palm and an activation of the arms, maybe up into the armpits. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Again, find the length through the crown of your head. Bring the head up and then your gaze, so your gaze is down in between your hands and you've got this lovely long neck. Drive down through the shins, starting with a basic cat-cow. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under and curl all the way up, dropping the head. Inhale, tilt the pelvis. Bottom in the air, belly to the floor, chest is open, gaze is forward. Keep the shoulders back, keep the neck long with the rhythm of your breath. Exhale, curling up. And inhale, opening the chest. Seeing if you can make that movement as smooth as possible, rippling through the spine. Finishing on an inhale, coming back to a neutral spine and exhaling the right leg out. You're on the toes on your right leg. Check your pelvis. So the pelvis hasn't moved. The pelvis is parallel with the floor. Sending the heel away, getting a bit of a stretch down the back of that right leg. And then we'll just do some circles there around the toes. So it's a kind of ankle toe, circle-y shamu. Which squeaks a bit. And then you can go the other way. Keeping the pelvis parallel with the floor. We'll do a few toe taps, lifting that leg up and down. And as you lift it up, glute, hamstring, hopefully. Okay. Pop the toes back down. Sweep that right leg over to the left and have a look at it. Breathe into the right side of your body. So really tap into that lengthening and that stretch there. And then we're going to semicircle it over to the right. And semicircle it back again and look at it. So each time you're looking at your foot, seeing what that's doing. Ooh. And then you can take it all the way over to the right. And start to pull the hips back. So we're going to do, it's like a one outstretched leg at child's pose. So pulling your hips back, you can let the toes come up on that right foot. It doesn't really matter. See what that feels like. And then we'll inhale, come back up again. And then go back down again. Let's do a few of those. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Inhaling up. Coming back up. And then walking the hands in towards the knee and coming up. We're going to do gate sway. Yeah. Inside edge of your right foot runs in line with your left knee. Your pelvis is pointing forward. Inhale up the left arm. The right hand is on the right thigh. Really find that length. And then as you exhale over to the right, breathe into that. So I've turned my toes are pointing up. Yeah. And then check it's in line. Check that the inside edge of that, yeah. Cool. Yeah. Inhale, come back up. Dropping the left hand down. Sending the right arm up and over. And then if you want to lift the right leg up, you can do that as well. Stretching out from the fingertips on the right hand to the toes. Let's do that again. Inhale, come up. So you pop the heel on the floor and the toes go to the ceiling. The right hand goes on the leg and you shamoo it over. And breathe into the left side. Inhale, come back up. Left hand goes down. Right hand extends. That right arm stretches out. Groovy. Come back down. And then I'm just going to pop the hands back down. That's it. Drive down through the left shin. Just see how this works for you. Drive down through the left shin and the hands, and then see if you can lift up the right leg. Drift the whole thing back behind you. Yeah, drive down through the left shin as much as you can. Yeah, it's not easy. And then let that leg float all the way back behind you, and you can return it so you're back onto all fours. It's the side glutes is what, so lifting that leg is, it's definitely quite hard. Drive down through the right shin, extend the left leg out. Onto your toes. So the first bit, you just want to feel that extension through the back of the left leg, sending the heel away. And then we'll do the circles, little circles with the toes there. Round and round. Changing directions. Back to center. Check in with that right shin and with a few toe taps. So glute max and hamstring there. Sweep the foot over to the right and have a look at it. Breathe into that left side. All the way down. That's quite strong in my hip for me, like quite a stretch in the hip. And then we'll semicircle that leg all the way over to the left and have a look at it. So you're taking it all the way over to the right and looking at it. Hello. And all the way over to the left. And again, all the way over to the right. And all the way over to the left. Leaving it there. And pulling your hips back. And as you do that, it doesn't matter what happens to this left foot. So mine, the toes kind of go up to the ceiling a little bit on mine. So I'm coming into this one-legged child's pose thing. Breathing there for a moment. Coming back up. And we'll go back down again. So a few of those. Inhaling up. And then pulling the hips back and going back down again. Okay. Come up, walk the hands in, and come up for your gate pose. Just checking, so toes to the ceiling. The inside edge of that foot runs in line with your knee. And then you inhale, the right arm up. Left hand is on the thigh. Really find the length in that right side. And then you can exhale. Down to the left, breathing into that lovely stretch through the right side of your body. And allowing the breath to flow freely. So mine's definitely going into my belly. Obviously it's not, but you can feel it there. Coming back up as you inhale, dropping the right hand down and extending the left arm. And if you want to, you can lift up that leg. I'm also, there's a turning up to the sky. So my hip, waist, it's that thing again where your hip, the waist, the rib cage kind of turns up to the sky. So I'm not finding lifting this leg off. Okay. Okay. Pop the leg down, come back up. toes to the ceiling, left hand goes down, right hand inhales up, and you stretch out through the right side of your body. Back up, right hand down, stretch. I like these. Coming back up and then popping the hands down so you're back here with the leg out, hands down. So here's the big one. You drive down through the right shin. Really check in with your hands and brace yourself, and then see if you can lift up that left leg without tilting the pelvis too much. Ah, good work, good work. Okay, and then you can let that leg drift behind you. And as you do that, you kind of turn so the toes point down and then pop that back down. So you're back onto all fours. Tuck the toes under. Send the sit bones up. Let's have a downward dog. Thinking about if the very center point at the top of your head was shooting some kind of nice coloured light, you want that nice coloured light to hit in between your hands. So it's that lengthening through the neck again, the space in the base of the skull. A little bend in the knees gets the arse into the sky. It's all about this lovely length through the spine. Breathing there. And then you can look at your hands and jump or step towards them. And then forward fold like down. So have a bend in your knees and let your rib cage rest onto your thighs. Breathe into the lower back here. Nice heavy head. Have a little nod of your head. Backwards and forwards, side to side. Check your feet. So just have a look at your feet. Inside edges as parallel as is comfortable. And then equal pressure through the feet as you roll up the spine. And take the arms up to the ceiling. Doo. The right hand takes the left wrist and you can lean on over to the right. Breathing into the left side. Maybe have a little bounce. Back to center. Doo. Shoot the ceiling. Change hands over to the left. Find the stretch and then maybe have a little bounce. Back to center. Let the arms drift down. Okay. Take the feet together. Inside edges of the feet touching. So if you can drive your big toes towards each other. Inhale, take the arms up. Hands to prayer. Exhale. Bringing the prayer down to the heart center and bending the knees. A little tilt of the pelvis so you're in chair prayer. Pushing through the feet. Inhale, come back up to standing. Arms up, fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, draw the prayer to the heart center. Bend the knees, chair prayer. And again, pushing through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms up. And then as you exhale, back into chair prayer. And then this time, left elbow goes to really, really squeeze the legs together. The left elbow goes in between the thighs. And as you inhale, you draw the right shoulder back. The right elbow goes up to the sky. Think about the right hip, waist and rib cage turning up to the sky. Think about the length through the back of your neck. Breathing there. Keep squeezing the thighs together as well. So you want the knees to be level. Coming back to center. As you inhale, push through the feet. Come all the way up to standing. Fingertips to the sky. Drawing the prayer to the heart center as you exhale and come back into chair prayer. And then this time the right elbow goes in between the thighs. As you inhale, draw the left shoulder back. Extend through the crown. Breathing into that. Thinking about the rib cage heading up to the sky. And then come back to center. Push through the feet. Inhale, come all the way back up. Hands to prayer. Draw the prayer to the heart center. And release. Closing the eyes if you're comfortable to do so. Find the length through the back of the neck again. The space at the base of the skull. Allow the breath to expand the whole of your torso. And notice the sensations on the tips of your fingers, the palms of your hands. Okay, so we're going to step back with the left foot. The right foot is dead straight forward. And then you step back wide with the left foot. The outside edge of your back foot runs parallel with the back edge of your mat, and then you shamu that heel out just a tiny bit. So you've got ever such a slight angle, a couple of millimeters at most. Check in with the feet, even pressure through all of your feet. And then hands to the pelvis, length through the crown. Inhale, and as you exhale, bend the front knee. And then keeping the pelvis still, drive the knee to the right. And notice that the left leg has to come on in order to keep the pelvis still. Keeping the torso as upright as possible. As you inhale, take the arms up. Relax the shoulders. So you're drawing the shoulder blades down. Again, length in the back of the neck, the space at the base of the skull. And then looking at your back hand, extend through the fingertips as much as possible. And then go to your front hand, the right hand, and extend through the fingertips there. So you feel this stretch all the way along the arms. Keep driving the knee to the right, even pressure through the feet, breathing into the belly. Gaze is out over the middle finger on your right hand. Breathing there. Maybe shoot nice things out of your fingers. Doo-doo, rainbows, sparkles, stuff like that. General good vibes. And then from there, we're just going to straighten the front leg. We're going to come into Trikonasana, but as you inhale, you straighten the front leg. Really thinking about the length through the sides of the body as the giant grabs your right hand and draws you over. So don't even think about coming down yet. Just think about lengthening in the sides of the body and finding as much length through that right arm as you can. And then you can pop the right hand down on the leg, wherever it gets to. Take the left hand to your hip and kind of draw the hip up towards the sky with the help of that feedback from your left hand. And then walk that hand a little bit further up to the side waist and think about turning the side waist up to the sky. You get to the bottom part of your rib cage. Think about turning the bottom part of the rib cage up to the sky. And then working your way all the way up the rib cage. Keeping the length through the sides of the body. It's up to you. You can then just pop your hand back on that hip and draw the shoulder. Or you could extend the fingertips, left hand up to the sky. Breathing there. The gaze is either up at the left hand or straight ahead. Whatever feels nice. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, bend the front knee, drive it to the right. The forearm goes onto the thigh, palm faces up. As you inhale, the left arm up and over, Parsvakonasana, fingertips to the outside edge of that back foot. Breathing there. Inhale, coming up. And then we're going to parallel the feet. So inside edges of the feet parallel. I say that because we're then going to turn the heels in a bit. Turn the toes out, turn the heels in. Inhale, take the arms up. And then as you exhale, take the hands to cactus and bend the knees. So we're in goddess pose. Right knee to the right, left knee to the left. Breathing into the belly. Okay. Just see what this is like, coming up onto the toes on the right foot. Pop it back down. Up on the toes on the left foot. Pop it back down. Right. Left. Keep driving the knees out. Right. Left. And then if you want to have a go at doing both at the same time, come up onto the toes. Bring the heels back down, hands to the knees, and dropping the right shoulder down for a little status quo twist. Your inhale then draws the shoulders open and the knees open, and then you drop the other shoulder. Inhale, open. Exhale, a little twisty shamoo. Inhale. Exhale. One more round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Back to center, and then you can boss yourself back up. Ooh, let the legs settle down a little bit. And then we'll do the other side. So back to the front of your mat. This time the left foot is forward, so the left foot is pointing straight forward, and you step your right leg back. Outside edge of the back foot, parallel with the back edge of the mat. Shamoo the heel out. Lengthening from that central point on the top of your head. Draw the shoulders, hands to the pelvis. Inhale. In fact, as you inhale, feel that inhale in your hands. Exhale, bend the knee. And then keeping the pelvis still, drive the knee to the left. And notice how that activates these babies, these leg things. Keeping the torso as upright as possible. So that might mean, feels like the torso is going back a little bit. And then you can take the arms up. Relax the shoulders, extend out through the fingertips. Think about the back hand, the fingertips stretching out. The front fingertips stretching out. Keep relaxing the shoulders. Keep driving the knee to the left. Breathing into the belly. Nice soft face. Shoot nice things out of your fingertips. Next, inhale, straighten the front leg. The giant grabs your hand and you think extension in the sides of your body, stretching as much as you can, and then let the hand come down. Take your right hand to your hip, or just a fingertip really. I want you to feel the feedback of that. And they're tiny little movements, but hip going up to the sky, waist going up. And if you kind of put your finger there and then allow that to turn up to the sky, I found it quite helpful. Rib cage all the way up. And then up to you. Hand on the hip, fingertips to the sky, doesn't matter. Breathing there. And maybe what happens as you breathe and little things start to change, there's a little bit more of a turning up to the sky, maybe there's a little bit more length, maybe you come down a little bit more. Nice soft face, breathing. Next inhale, coming up. Exhale, bend the front knee, drive it to the left. The forearm comes down onto the thigh. And you inhale the right arm up and over. Lengthening, stretching. Again, hip, waist, rib cage to the sky. Lengthening from the fingertips of the right hand to the outside edge of the back foot. Inhale, coming back up. Turning the left foot so it is parallel. You've got a wide. We're actually staying parallel this time. You might want to get a block or bolster or something in front if you want. I don't know. But that can be quite nice to have something to come down onto. Inhale, take the arms up. As you exhale, we'll put them on the waist. Draw the elbows back, shoulder blades squeeze together, shoulders are down. Inhale into the front of your body, and then as you exhale, hinging at the hips, coming down. Bend the knees if you need to, keep squeezing the elbows together, the shoulder blades together, and then you come all the way down as far as is comfortable. Keep squeezing elbows, shoulder blades, breathe into the lower back. And then you can release the hands down either onto the floor or your bolster or your block, whatever works. Left hand goes in the middle. And we're going to inhale the right arm up. Trying to keep that in line with your shoulder, and you can follow that up. So if you look at your hand as you're going up and your rib cage and everything heads up to the ceiling as well. Breathe there, really stretching through the fingertips again. And then you can turn the palm so it faces behind you. Bend the elbow and bring the back of the hand up the back without touching it. Draw the right shoulder back, draw the elbow back, breathe into the right rib cage. Inhale, extend the arm up. As you exhale, you turn and let it drift back down and swap over. Left hand, inhale it up. Breathing there, rib cage up to the sky, stretching out through the fingertips as much as you can. And then turn the palm so it faces behind you. Bend the elbow and bring the back of the hand up the back. Keep drawing the left shoulder back, the elbow back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, turn. Bring it back down. Inhale, come up onto your fingertips. Find the length through the spine. Think about the space at the base of the skull. All that shenanigans. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. As fluid as possible. Lengthening and then releasing down. Lengthening. And then releasing down. Once more, lengthen. And release. And then pop your hands on your hips. As you inhale, come all the way back up again. And step yourself to the front of your mat. Inhale, taking the arms up, fingertips to the ceiling. Hands to prayer. Draw the prayer to the heart center. Hinge at the hips and come forward. Next, inhale, lengthen, maybe hands to legs or hands on the floor, it doesn't matter. And then exhale, bend the knees, pop the hands down, and we'll step back into a plank. Sending the heels away, draw the shoulders, trying to make yourself a straight line, nice straight line. Pop the knees down, and then we'll lower ourselves down. Thighs, belly, chest at the same time. Taking the hands to the rib cage, draw the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. The elbows are up towards the sky. Tilt the pelvis, push the pubic bone into the rug. So you've got some space in your lumbar. And then lifting up the hands and breathing there. And then maybe lifting the head and the chest. Keep drawing the shoulder blades together. Pop the hands back down. Push through the hands, through all fours and into child's pose. Breathing there in child's pose. Finding the space in the lower back. Thinking about the space all the way down the spine, in between the vertebrae. And then a broadening across the lower back and a broadening across the shoulder blades. Inhaling, coming back up onto all fours. Exhale, tuck the toes under and head back into a downward dog. Have a little paddle there. Think about arsehole to the sky, lengthening all the way, arms, spine. I like to swing my hips a little bit as well as having a paddle. Just needs to stretch them out a little bit more. And then you can look at your hands and take the right knee to the right wrist and the left knee to the left one and sit yourself down. And actually we're going to go straight into lying, I think. So just coming all the way down to lying. Legs bent, feet hip width apart. Arms down by your side. Find the length through the back of the neck. Inhale, take the arms up, fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, turn the palms so they face each other, sink the shoulder blades down. Find the broadening. Inhale, right arm, right fingertips up to the sky, stretching up as much as you can. The shoulder blade comes off. As you exhale, replace the shoulder blade and turn the palm to face the ceiling. Arm stays straight. Next inhale, left arm, stretching up. Shoulder blade comes off. As you exhale, it comes back down and you turn the palm to face the ceiling. So your shoulders are broad. You've got lots of space for your neck. The arms are straight. The palms are facing the ceiling and you're drawing your fingers towards you. Bring the thighs into the chest. Flex the feet and extend the legs as much as you can to the ceiling. Draw the toes towards you. Breathing there. Okay. And then you can bend the knees, pop the feet back down, point the fingers to the ceiling, turn them if you haven't already so the palms are facing each other, and take them down to the side so the arms are running level with the shoulders or lower. Inhale, a few windscreen wipers. So inhale here. Exhale, dropping the knees to the right, look to the left. And breathing into the left side of your body. Nice soft face. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, over to the left, breathing into the right side. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, down to the right. Inhale, coming back up. And exhale, down to the left. Back to center. Check in with your feet. Little bridge. So checking in with your feet, tilt the pelvis, the back flattens, lower back flattens on the mat as you tilt the pelvis. And then you push through the feet, engage the glutes, the hamstrings, and you start to roll up the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming up as high as you can, so you're pushing the feet into the floor, the glute max is lifting the hips up as high as you can. We could add a bit of back line activation by drawing without moving the feet, drawing them in towards the bottom. So you feel the back of your legs and your bottom really engage. When you've had enough, roll back down, cog by cog by cog. Let the knees fall into the chest. Have a little rockety-roo, shamoo. And then it's Shavasana time. You're getting yourself into a comfortable relaxation position. Just making sure you're warm and comfy. And then we'll start by taking a few breaths together. A nice deep inhale, slow and steady. Slow, steady, releasing exhale. Slow enough that you can tap into those sensations of release. And again, maybe counting the inhale for about 5. And then matching the exhale. So breathing in this way is helpful to bring the focus into the body. Even breaths are calming. And then taking the attention to the top of your head. And relaxing the scalp. Noticing the sensations on the top of the head. All those nerve endings tingling, pulsating. Feeling the sensations at the very top of your head. And following it down the back of your head. Noticing the pressure of the back of your head on the mat, on the earth. Noticing what that feels like, whether it's warm or cool. And continuing down the back of the skull to the base. Imagining what that looks like. Tuning into the space at the base of the skull. Again, what does that feel like? Visualizing the space in between the vertebrae and the neck, the length of the neck, and how the shoulders fall away, down the back, away from the ears. Thinking about how broad your shoulder blades are. Can you imagine the space from one side of the shoulder blades to the other side? And the shoulders, from the right shoulder to the left shoulder, can you imagine the space between? Noticing what your shoulders feel like inside the shoulders. And then working your way down your spine, noticing the natural curvature of the spine, and the contact points, the pressure points. The weight of the pelvis and the legs, and the pressure of the heels pressing into the mat, the earth. And noticing the sensations on the soles of your feet, tingling, pulsating. The aliveness in your feet. Bringing the awareness to the tips of your toes. We're going to inhale up the front of the body to the crown of your head. And exhale down the back of the body to the heels. Taking a couple of deeper breaths. Filling the lungs and then completely exhaling, so you replenish the air in your lungs. And then when you're ready, starting to bring a little bit of movement back, wriggling the fingers and the toes, wrists and ankles, and then drawing the knees into the chest, having a little rockety-roo. Rolling over onto your right side. Couple more breaths there. And then coming to meet me in sitting. Inhale, taking the hands to your heart center. Find the length. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale. Coming back up. Thank you very much.